Absolutely love the tin. You know, packaging is important as well. So it's a gorgeous tin, and you get your ideas book as well with some different fonts in there. I love this one. See, this is a step up from black letter. Let me show you. This is more Old English, which is like a Gothic style. So it's basically very similar, but you can add some little tiny added details to your letters, which you can observe and pick up on that. I've got this here actually. This is sort of a guide. So that's like black, this is black letter. Yeah. This is a bit more fancy Old English. And then this one's like a bit of a sort of curlier, sort of more normal handwriting, which is basically sort of like a Roman.
I didn't realise there were so many styles.
Oh gosh, there is. There's yeah, quite a few. So there's the Old English written, and then this one's that's the Roman. The black letter is disappeared, but I've got this tiny bit here, which I've kind of done a little shadow line with the fine end to the pink brush pen, just to sort of make it pop a little bit.
To be able to master that style of writing would be a lovely achievement, and this kit will help you get there, help you do it.
And it looks so lovely.
It does.
When you put more letters together, more words on a page, the more beautiful it looks. So you can, learn to do something elaborate like this. Great for Halloween, and Christmas is lovely as well.
It could be, that you give out certificates of achievement. Maybe, you're writing people's names on certificates.
You be the person that writes them, and you'll get people saying, "Oh, can you write this for me and do that for me?" Or you can just use your normal considered handwriting, with the finer pens. I absolutely love these. And then you get another piece of paper from Zieler as well to show you exactly how to load your pen up. Which end to stick into the.
So the actual pen barrels, the black ones there, they're empty, and you put the nibs onto the end of them. Is that right?
They are. These are all empty. Yes.
Yeah. So you put the nib in.
So you put your pens together. So with this one, let me unscrew this one. So I've got, what colour have I got in here? The purple. So I've slotted the purple one up till it clicks, push it right up. I love to put another cartridge in the barrel because this gives the pen more weight to it, which I think feels nice. And then it also is a sort of a guide to make sure you've got the cartridge up the pen nib correctly, or enough, because when you screw it on, this cartridge will butt up to this cartridge, and they won't rattle. So it all's fixed in place, and it won't pop out, and it just gives that pen a bit more weight to it, which I like.
Then you're ready to go.
I like to do, yes,
Perfect.
Yeah, and then you just scribble. You just scribble with them.
Get the flow going.
To get the flow going, yeah. If it's not coming out, I get a damp piece of tissue and then just stroke it on here, because this is where the ink's coming from. So it just helps to draw that ink with a damp tissue. That will help draw the ink out.
So although you get 5 nibs, you've actually got 4 pen barrels. So you can actually have 4 on the go in different widths at the same time.
Yes. And then this is a guide to all the inks that you've got in the set and the different nib widths as well. So the 0.7, this is basically, you could use that as a normal fountain pen, definitely. And even the 1 you can. But the 2.5 is my favourite, because that's where you can get the dramatic effect. Even the 2 is lovely as well. I think with using a fountain pen, I think you can pick it up quicker than brush pen work, because with brush pen you have to add the pressure, but with these fountain pens you don't have to add pressure. You just hold the pen at the right angle.
The ink just flows.
It does, yeah. So I think you can pick this style of lettering up quicker, personally.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, where do you start? Obviously, it's important to have the right paper.
It is, yeah. Let's go to the paper. So this pad that I've worked with Zieler with to pick a nice paper, and I've tested the paper as well. I've designed this grid sheet to help you as well. So we've got the first section, you use your smaller nibs, 1 to 1.5 nibs, and then the bigger nibs, I've done 1.8. There isn't a 1.8 nib, but I've done that because it's actually measured for a 1.8 to 2.1. But you can use your 2 and your 2.5 on that section. And then there's just, it's nice to sometimes have italic lines as well to work to.
Okay, lovely.
Well.
So,
and then the tracing paper is good to have with this as well. I shall grab a piece of that. So the paper is paper. It's 100 GSM, and it's thin and flexible because you want to be able to see the guidelines through, and I can see them perfectly, you know, so you don't have to use a light box or anything.
right.
And also, if you didn't want to struggle to see, then you can use your tracing paper over the top.
Right.
As well. So I will use the tracing paper.
So you'd use the tracing paper to practice, is that the idea?
Yes, tracing paper is marvellous to practice, and this paper is good for practicing because it's not absorbent.
Right.
So you won't use up loads of ink. The ink won't be absorbed into the paper. So they're lovely and smooth, and they're both really good for practicing.
Okay.
Yeah. Ideally, I quite like writing lettering on watercolour paper and quality paper. Quite like that as well. So this is good for practicing. Okay, so how these guidelines work is, this is like a bit of an example here. So this line is your baseline. Oh, it's a red ink in this pen. This is the baseline, and then this is your X height line. So basically, it's the height of all the lowercase letters.
Right.
And then we've got a dashed line here, which is where your uppercase sit and where your tall letters sit, like the L. And then you've got another line here, which is your descender line, which is where like with the Y, the tails come to.
Right.
So there's these 4 lines, okay, and I've repeated them, so you don't have to keep measuring down or moving your paper down.
I mean, that's really, really useful because I often struggle very much with trying to get the size of the letter correct. And it always ends up going a little bit awry. If you've got that guide there, it makes sure that you're getting the height right, the depth right.
Yes, yeah. So you basically write within the open space, and then you just use the dash lines.
Right.
You know, to work to.
And because you've got that width of nib, obviously, it's easy to get the wider strokes and the thinner strokes. The pen automatically does that for you as you go, doesn't it?
Yeah, by holding it at the right angle. So if I just hide this under here. So what this all means is, let me give you a little lesson on the writing. And if I pick the 2.5 nib, which is in both sets, I believe, and yes, it is.
Yep.
And this is the most dramatic one because it's the widest one.
Yeah.
And I've got blue ink in here, so I love a bit of dramatic lettering. So what happens is, if you draw a little box like that with your nib at sort of, you know, at this angle, horizontally, and then draw another one on top. So connect these little boxes so that you get like a checkered flag effect.
Okay.
And we need 5 of these for our X height measurement. So whatever pen you've got, you can work out where your X height is by doing these little boxes. So if I pick this pen and do the same, you see they're very small.
Yeah.
So you get the same gauge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if I grab my pencil, so this will be my baseline where your first square is. Count 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the top of the 5th one. So there is my X height.
Right.
So it's quite large compared to this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is that width. Okay.
Yeah.
And I need to do another box because 2 up is where the capitals sit, so that will be our ascender line, and 2 boxes down, I call them boxes, I don't know, squares, that'll be your descender line. So that's like a rule with using any size pen.
I'd never heard that before. That makes sense.
Yes, yeah,
And
to get it looking correct.
You mentioned that holding the pen correctly is important.
It is.
What is the best way to hold the pen then?
So if I draw a right angle, actually I'm going to draw 2. Okay, so the best way to hold these pens is about 45 to 30, the angle. So if you draw this line, hold the pen to draw this line, and it will be the thinnest line you can get. And then if you draw down, you'll get a nice thick wide line. And then if I do the same with the 30 might actually be a tiny bit wider. So if I did the same at a steeper angle, say 60, which might be about there, and then if I draw down with that, can you see that's a thinner line?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So basically you need to get it, hold the pen to get as fine as you can and then as wide as you can. So that's why you often see some zigzag drill lines. So this is like a practice.
Now, Sue, the main kit, half the stock has gone.
Oh my gosh,
The lowest price ever. Yeah, half stock gone.
You're not going to be disappointed because these pens are beautiful.
Actually, both kits are selling equally as well. So the smaller one that's got the 3 nibs, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, they're exactly the same pens across each kit.
Yeah.
If you want a bigger choice, then go for the bigger pen. But the inks are lovely, they're water-based inks. The pens are super quality. They've got this rubber grip section in the middle, which makes it really comfortable. So here's a wiggly line that I did, holding the pen at the correct angle. Okay, now when we come to lettering, basically I think black letter style is the easiest one to do.
Okay.
And I see this as a basic, like a diamond sort of shape, a bit like a quartz crystal sort of thing. So that kind of shape, which is basically a naught, an O, that's the shape that we kind of want to picture in our heads going forward when we're writing all our other letters. So if we go for an A, for instance, I'm coming down first with my lovely fine line and I'm bringing it straight down to the bottom. And then I can create this little diamond shape with the pen, bringing it down and then going back up with a lovely fine line. And then I go back to the top, so that's the first side. You know when you do an A, you do the front first, and then you do the back. So now we're doing the back of the A. So then we join it at the top again, come down, and then straight down to the bottom. And then we again do this little diamond piece, and we flick it back up.
Right.
So that's basically a load of sort of fine and wide lines for the A. And then the B, that would go from the ascender line, which we've established, all the way down, and then do another little piece at the bottom. Go back up, fine line, same shape as the A, come back down, but this time just connect it at the bottom to give it a nice rounded shape, the bottom. And then the C, you start that same shape again and do your little diamond flick up.
I can see how you said it's so therapeutic and relaxing to do.
It is, yeah. Basically, as well, to write really slowly and considered like this as well is really mindful and lovely. And you do have to write slowly with this wider pen as well. So the D comes down here and then you just flick it up.
And bearing in mind the cost of these kits being so affordable, the quality of the pens and so many nibs is superb. And you get so much ink in both kits, to be fair. And the biggest kit gives you the most choice when it comes to the nibs. You get 5 nibs and you actually get, I think it's 3 or 4 pen cases to put the nibs onto. Plus you get literally loads and loads and loads of ink cartridges in different colours too.
Yeah, the colours are lovely. Let me show you the colours. So we get all these gorgeous colours. So I've opened each one and splattered them onto this watercolour paper. So you can see the colours, and then I've actually drawn them out with a bit of water, because you can create art with these as well.
Oh, yeah.
And what I recommend is, if you don't keep practicing and you just have a little go and then put your pen to one side for months, then these inks are going to evaporate in the pen.
Right.
So if you know you're not going to do some work for a while, instead of wasting that ink, I would sort of, you know, create some art with it.
Absolutely.
And actually I did that because I wasn't going to use the pink. And I've got these lovely notebooks are in the 6 o'clock show.
Okay.
But I just dabbed it all over this page because I didn't want to waste the ink. And I just think that creates a lovely little effect, yes. And
Looks like
the
you've been
ink is
paintballing.
beautiful. This pink is gorgeous. It gets more fluorescent as it, you know, as you draw out the colour. And then this is the brown one, and it's actually got very good green tones in it.
You don't see brown ink very often, do you?
No, no. It's difficult to create because it's a real mixture of all colours. And with water-based ink, you're always going to get the colours separate a little bit when you add water. And I really love this gorgeous quality green. And I've created a couple of bookmarks with that just there, with actually using that ink and creating some artwork in the bottom of the bookmarks. And splashing them, and then practice your lettering on them. And that's watercolour paper that I've used for those.
There they are. There are the bookmarks.
And yeah, so bookmarks are a lovely thing to create because they're little snippets that you can practice with. So, and you can try your different lettering styles with those as well.
I mean,